This is video 10 of 11 as we approach the city limits of LaFollette, Tennessee. It's down here on the right in this area. We'll be coming into the city limits of LaFollette. Where is it? I can't even remember. I know we're close. So I'm just going to keep jabbering as the sign comes up. The reason I know, I used to live in this area. I no longer live in this area. It's on the other side of that hill you see off in the distance. So right now we're on Highway 63 in the county, Campbell County. It's getting late in the evening on video 10 of 11, and I'll have one more video to go after this one, and then all of them will be copied to YouTube, and I've placed them in a playlist called Powell Valley, Tennessee Tour. So if you click on that, if you go into my Nothing But History YouTube channel and you click on that, you'll find all of those videos together. And I'm sure that you won't be watching them one after the other. But there's over 2 hours on this trip that we did up the valley, cross on the other side of 25E up toward Sneedville. We didn't go to Sneedville because we missed the road. We went to Tazwell, came back down 25E into Harrogate, and then to Cumberland Gap, and then back to LaFollette and Jacksboro Station where we started. Now the city limits, there's a sign down here on the right, and we're coming up on it. There's the sign coming up with a couple of flags there. That's LaFollette city limits. So we're in LaFollette. We have one video to go after this. It'll be a shorter video because I clipped it at the end when I came up to Jacksboro Station. That's where we started this series of videos on the Powell Valley, Tennessee tour. Now we're on Central Avenue, LaFollette, which is, it goes into Highway 25W, 63 and 25. Down here on the right is the LaFollette Middle School, which used to be the LaFollette High School. School is to the right. LaFollette Junior High School, the old LaFollette High School. They did some remodeling on it a few years ago. As we continue, and on the right there is the entrance to the post office, the new post office that they constructed a few years ago. And a few months after it was constructed, it cracked right down the middle, or down one of the sides. And they went in there and redid it. The wide street of LaFollette, the main street of LaFollette, is a wide street. Of course, at the start of these videos, these series of videos, we came up this way. And there's Tenova Hospital. I decided to just leave the GoPro running and do the complete up and back. So you got it from both directions. So what you didn't see going up, you can see coming back. This is Cumberland Avenue. Traffic light. That's the first traffic light coming into LaFollette. When we top this hill up here, you'll be able to see into downtown LaFollette. you can see over to the other side, there's a creek that runs through the center of LaFollette. Back in the 50s, we had a flood. At that time, they had a metal bridge, and it washed the metal bridges out. And now we have 2 permanent bridges that they have built. But what we call the viaduct, which is a bridge that Central Avenue goes across, that thing is sturdy. I did a video talking about how it would operate as a dam if we had a flash flood up in the mountains above LaFollette. And the underneath, we're getting ready to go across that, what I call the viaduct. It is oval, but it's sturdy. I would say that nothing could wash that bridge out. But it definitely would dam water up behind it. And if it did, the water would go to the right, where you're looking. To the right, it would spill the water right into downtown LaFollette. But a flood like that, you can't, and I'm not saying that anything could be done other than a new bridge, but that would be an act of God, and it would be something other than building a higher bridge or something across Central Avenue. Other than that, you can't prepare for a biblical event. And for it to do that probably would be a biblical event. Anyway, that's what I think. Everybody has their own opinion. But the reason I bring it up is I did a complete video on that. If you want to listen to it, you can look for 500-year flood in LaFollette, where I talk about that. In fact, that's the reason the post office was down to the left on Tennessee Avenue, and it's a sturdy building, and I don't have any information. I'm just doing saying what I think. I believe the reason the Corps of Engineers did not build a new post office in this area is because of their study, probably of flood potential. So they built the new post office up at what they call Eastgate. But anyway, if you want to listen to that video, I have a complete video called The 500-Year Flood in LaFollette, so you can go out and listen to it. And it's not an accusatory video. It's just me stating what I think, which could be correct or incorrect. It's just an opinion, that's all. And it's not an opinion against anyone or anything. It's just what could happen if we had a biblical event, which would occur once every 500 years. And lots of places around the world have had them, and that's what they call them, a biblical event. Starting to get a little bit of the camera is not as or the video is not as, usually the sun will start to close the lens, but it comes and goes, and it all has to do with the direction that we're going. We're going east on Central Avenue in LaFollette. I'm going to tap my mouse and see if it'll pop up we're at 9 minutes and 42 seconds at this point of the video. And these videos are approximately 17 minutes and 20 seconds long. And all of this trip, over 2 hours of this trip, was recorded continuously on a little small SD card that would record 64 gigabytes of data. And when I say that, and when I know what that little SD card looks like, it seems like that would be impossible. But in this day and time, that's where we're at. You can only imagine where technology is going. I know I was reading on the internet about they're accusing someone placing a small chip in all the computers that are manufactured that are no larger than the tip of a pen, writing pen, or a pencil, tip of a pencil. But I think they're even smaller than that. I believe technology has gone to the point to where some of the things that they have are almost invisible. It's an amazing thing when you stop and think how technology has gone. It's 11:50, 11 minutes and almost 12 minutes in this. So I guess this, I don't know if video, we stop at Wendy's to get a Frosty, and I'm thinking this video ends as we pull into the drive-thru. I believe that's what happens. You can see the traffic on this road. I've had people tell me that should know that say that this road probably is one of the heaviest traveled roads in the state of Tennessee. I remember this road going from just a little two-lane highway to what you see now. We're getting ready to exit into the shopping center to go down to Wendy's to get a Frosty. Turn right here. I believe this video is going to end just as we pull up to the drive-thru, which means the last video, the 11 of 11, will be pulling out from that drive-in, and shortly thereafter that video will end, and that will end this series of 11 videos. This is 10 of 11. This used to be the Woodson Shopping Center. I remember when they were building this. When you get my age, you can remember a lot of places did not exist before, and this is one of the places. Now you see the video brighten up because the sun is not affecting the lens or the shutter speed, or the shutter, not the shutter speed. We're running 60 frames per second. See the flag down there in the distance? And after we leave Wendy's, we'll come back out this way and get back out on the main highway, and we'll kind of scoot over to Jacksboro Station, and that will end this series of videos. I like to see companies have a flag like that in front of their business. I know up at Elizabethton when you come into to the city limits up there, they used to have a huge flag, and I always thought that that looked great for a city to do that. I'll tell you, I'm not going to have anything to say for the rest of the video. You'll see us pull up into the drive-through, and the next video will be 11 of 11 as we pull out from this drive-in.